Have you ever stared at a blank page, wanting to write something honest, but your hands refused to move? You had the words in your heart, but something inside whispered, "Don't." You want to tell your story, but you're afraid someone might hear it. Or worse, afraid that you might finally hear it too. Many people think writing a poem is hard because they lack talent. But the truth is, most of us don't lack words. We lack courage. When you write a poem, you don't just write lines. You reveal yourself. Your feelings, your mistakes, your memories, they all appear there, raw and unfiltered. Psychologists call this fear of vulnerability the fear of being emotionally exposed, the fear of letting people see the soft parts of your heart that you've always tried to hide. Maybe someone once told you, "Don't be too emotional." Or maybe they laughed when you shared something personal. Those little moments taught your brain one simple rule: hide, it's safer. So now, when you try to write, your mind whispers, "What if they judge me? What if they don't understand? What if I sound weak?" That's why your pen hesitates. Not because you can't write, but because you're scared to be seen. Writing is like holding up a mirror, and not everyone is ready to look. Every poem you write is a reflection of something deep inside: joy, grief, longing, or pain you never dared to name. And your brain has its own defense system. When something too real starts to rise from your heart, the amygdala, the brain's fear center, lights up. It says, "Stop, this feels dangerous." So you close the notebook, you scroll your phone, you tell yourself, "Maybe tomorrow." But fear doesn't mean stop. Fear means you've reached something true, something that matters. Sometimes it's not others we fear, it's ourselves. That quiet voice in your head says, "This is bad. You're not a real poet. No one will care." Psychologists call that voice the inner critic, a leftover echo of old judgment. Maybe it came from a teacher, maybe a parent, or maybe from you, comparing your voice to someone else's highlight reel. We silence ourselves before anyone else has the chance to do it. We think, if I stop now, at least it won't hurt. But here's the truth. Every time you silence your own voice, you teach your heart to shrink. And a shrinking heart can never hold the poems it was meant to create. But here's something beautiful. Fear isn't your enemy. It's your heart saying, "This means something to me." What if instead of avoiding the fear, you wrote through it? What if the shaking of your hand was actually the sound of your healing beginning? You don't need perfect lines. You don't even need the right words. Just start. Write one sentence, even if it's messy, even if it hurts. Because the moment you write what you're afraid to say, you take power away from fear and give it back to your voice. So the next time you face a blank page, don't ask, "What if I fail?" Ask, "What if I finally understand myself?" Poetry isn't about rhymes, it's about release. It's not about sounding perfect, it's about being real. Write your truth, even if your voice shakes, because the world doesn't need perfect poets, it needs honest ones.